Hello my book besties, it's Dano and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go through all the series that I am currently in the middle of. So 2025, I started a lot of series. Yeah. And I need to work on that, so I sort of got a little challenge for myself that for every new series I start in 2026, I want to have read that many books from previous series as well. So I'm going to try and keep on top of it monthly. So if I start like 3 series, I have to have read 3 books from previously started series, if that makes sense. But in order to do that, we need to have a look at all the series that I have started either in... There is a couple that I started in 2024, but mostly I started in 2025, so yes. A part of why this challenge came out is because when setting up my new reading journal for 2026, I put in all my series that I'm in the middle of. I gave this a double-page shred. I'm already basically out of room, and this doesn't include anything that I start in December. And it also doesn't include 4 series that I'm hoping to finish by the end of December. So there could be 4 more things on here from those alone, let alone what I also start in December. But yes, okay, let's go through them. So for the first one that I started in 2024, I'm not really counting it at the moment because it's 4th Wing and I am up to date with this series. So just waiting for the 4th book to finally come out. But technically I am in the middle of this series. In 2024, I also started Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Ryerson. I need to keep going with this series. The 2nd book is on my 26th in 2026, so that will help motivate me to get through this series. But I really do love these. Well, I love this one at least. It was good fun times. So going through the rest of the series that I started in 2024, I also started Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I really do want to get through this series because I started watching the TV series of it and really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed book 1, so I just need to get on with reading book number 2 and then follow that on with, there's a interconnected series as well, so I'm going to go through it all. I also started the Hades and Persephone saga by Scarlett St. Clair. Read book 1, need to continue. Although this one, the reason why I sort of didn't go straight into continuing is because I got confused of what book I should read next. If I should read book 2 in Hades' perspective, book 2 in Persephone's perspective and keep going along with that, because there is a Hades series that is everything that happened in book 1 but in his perspective, so it kind of also makes sense to read them one after each other, but then I don't want to burn out the story, so I think I might just go through all of Persephone's and then go back and reread Hades. I don't know. This is my problem, is I haven't decided how I want to do that. So if you have any recommendations of which order I should read those in, please let me know down below. Then I read book 1 of the Cat and Mouse duology, which is Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlson. I think it's Haunting, and Hunting is 2nd. I always get those two confused because the names are so similar. I read this, I didn't mind it, it didn't live up to the hype for me. It wasn't what I was expecting going into it. I thought it was going to be a dark romance, but to me it was like a spicy romance with a dark character and gore. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe book 2 has more of the dark romance and like, I don't know, I was expecting it to be a lot further down the dark romance thing. I don't know what that says about me though. I also started Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohen and David Leviathan. There is 3 books in this series, so I need to read the other 2. I kind of wouldn't mind rereading this one. It is such an easy Christmas read. It's a sweet YA. Maybe I'll listen to this. yeah, that's what I'll do. As just a cozy treat to myself. And then continue on, because I think they were all based around winter time. So it might be fun to all based around Christmas time. So if that's true, I might pick them up in December, maybe. I'll use this video to keep adding to my TBR. That's gonna work out real well for me. And then the last series I started in 2024 that I am technically caught up on is the Alex Stern series. So Hellbent and Ninth House and Hellbent. The third book has finally been announced and is meant to be coming out in 2026. So I am looking forward to it. But technically I'm up to date at the moment. Okay, moving on to the books that I started, well, the series that I started in 2025. We've got When the Moon Hatched by Sarah J. Parker, book number 2, The Ballad of Songbirds, is coming out in 2026. So technically at the moment, up to date, but I am in the middle of it because the next one comes out soon. Then I'm in the middle of When in Rome, or Rome, Kentucky series. I've seen the series called Both Things by Sarah Adams. So I read book 3 in this because they're interconnected standalones. Book number 4 is coming out in December, but I want to go back and read book 1 and 2 first, and then I can read book 4. So yes, I am definitely what I'd call in the middle of this series. Up next, I started the If Love series by Anna Huang. This is book number 4, but I've only read book number 1, so I need to read the other 3 in this series, and they've just been eyeing me off, so I need to get to them. Then I've got the Fae and Alchemy series, which is Quicksilver and Brimstone, has just been released by Kelly Hart. I haven't gotten a copy of Brimstone yet because I'm waiting for someone to come out with special edition covers, because I don't like the new ones, and I love this cover. I say it every time. I understand why she changed, and what happened was horrible, but at least this one has some meaning to it. So anyway, I'm in the middle of the series, and as of like a couple of days ago, I'm no longer up to date with that series. Then I've got The Thousandth Floor by Catherine McGee. I've read books 1 and 2, so I have the 3rd book to go. I do own it, so I just need to get around to it. Then I've got the Gallagher Girls series by Ali Carter. This is book number 1. I'd tell you I love you, but then I'd have to kill you. There is a prequel novella that I haven't read of this, and then there's 6 other books that I haven't read. So I've read 1 and 2, and then yeah, there's 6 main books and 2 novellas, I think. Then I started A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. So this is the Sherlock Holmes series. I have read books 1 and 2 of this. I'm hoping to get to book 3 this month, but we'll see how we go. I also started the Vicious Lost Boys series by Nikki St. Croix. I have read book number 1 in this. There are 4 other books plus a prequel novella to go. Thankfully, these are really, really short. I think they're 100 and something pages. So really, it won't take me any time at all to read. I just need to get back into the world. Then I'm making my way through the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I have finished the first duology in this series. I'm up to slaying the Vampire Conqueror, which is the, well, I mean, it's not really a novella, but it's the 0.5 that comes after this duology before the next duology. So this is where I'm up to, and that means I've read 3 books so far, because I've read the first 2 books plus the novella 6 Scotch Roses. The next series I am technically up to date for, but the next book comes out in 2026, and that's the Baby Dragon Cafe series. So it's the Baby Dragon series by A.T. Qureshi. I love this series. It's so sweet and cute. There are baby dragons, especially in this first book. Absolutely love Sparky from this first book, and they're just a fun, cozy read. Then picked up Dream Harbour series by Laurie Gilmore. This is book number 1, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I have also read book number 2, The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and I plan on reading The Christmas Tree Farm this month, because obviously Christmas trees. So that will make me at book number 6. Book number 3. And there is 5 out at the moment, and the next one is coming out next year. I believe there's going to be 7 in this series, or is it 6 books and one of them's actually a novella. I just can't remember which one's a novella. I think there's a 3.5. I think it comes after Christmas Tree Farm. I then picked up book number 1 in the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. Absolutely love this. Definitely need to read Legendary ASAP. One of my mates has been harping on about how I need to continue on with this series, and yeah, just need to get there. I then picked up Beartown by Frederick Backman. This book to me can read as a standalone, so I'm not really in a rush to go back and read the other 2 in this series because the story was complete, so I don't know where the other 2 go, so I don't know if they're interconnected standalones or anything like that. But I loved and was torn apart by Beartown. So going back to even if it's the same town terrifies me. But technically I've read book 1 of a 3-book series. Then I have started the Like Luck series by Alex Astor. I've read books 1 and 2. I've got book 3, and I've got the Oro Grimm interconnected sort of thing. And then Crown Tide has just been released, so I need to get onto that because I'm pretty sure Crown Tide finishes the series. So all the books are out. I just need to keep on reading. I've read book 1 in the Say You'll Remember Me series by Abby Jimenez. I really enjoyed this book, and looking forward to seeing, I believe, again, they're interconnected standalones, maybe? Possibly. I just don't know who they follow. I haven't really looked into it that much, but I enjoyed book number 1 and looking forward to it. I think I'll wait for like a January, February, like a hot, warm summer day to read the rest of the series. I then started my journey with the Zodiac Academy series, and I have read books 1, 2 and 3 in the Zodiac Academy, as well as book 1 in the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac series. So I'm currently on book number 2 of that series before I go back to the world of Zodiac. Well, it's all the same world, but before I go back to the main Zodiac Academy series. But loving these books. Absolutely loving them. Then I've read book number 1 in the Gods and Monsters series by Amber V. Nicole. That was the Book of Azrael. Book number 4, I believe, has just come out, so need to get onto it. Then I read Phantasma by Kaylee Smith, which is book number 1 in the Wicked Games series. I heard talk about there being 3 in this series. I don't know if that's true or not, but I haven't read Enchantress yet, so it's on my to-read list. It's on my ASAP to read list, really. I then started the Heartstopper series by Alice Oseman, and I've read volumes 1 and 2 of this, and I believe volume 6 comes out in 2026, which is going to be the last one in the series. There is a couple of spin-off side books as well, but I've only read vol 1 and 2. I've read book number 1 in the Ruinous Love trilogy by Bryn Weaver, so that is Butcher and Blackbird. I need to read Leather and Lark and Scythe and Sparrow. Are they in the correct order? Can't remember. But really enjoyed my time reading Butcher and Blackbird, so want to jump back in soon. Then I read Shield of Sparrows, which is book number 1 in the Shield of Sparrows series. And this is by Devney Perry, and I absolutely loved it. I will definitely be continuing on, but technically at the moment I am up to date because book number 2 hasn't come out yet. It is coming out in 2026. Then I read Legends and Lattes, which is book number 1 in the Legends and Lattes series by Travis Baldry. There is now a book, there's a prequel and a book number 2, and I believe there's going to be a book number 3. I think that's right. I've only read book 1, so I need to now read the prequel and then read book number 2. I know, it gets confusing with books like that. I've read Diabound by Sable Sorensen. This is book number 1 in the Wolves of Ruin series, and I believe this is going to be a trilogy. So far, only book number 1 is out. Book 2 is coming out in 2026. So excited. At the moment, I think this is going to be one of my most anticipated books of 2026 because I absolutely love Diabound. So I am looking forward to book number 2 coming out and being in my hands. I also am waiting on the Fairy Loot special edition of Diabound. I don't splurge on books too often and get like international editions, but I needed to get the Fairy Loot edition of Diabound because it was beautiful and I was willing to pay, I think it was almost $100 for it. So I started the Parasol Protectorate series by Gail Carriger and started this with Solace. So I need to read 4 more books in the series, and then there is a prequel. She has a few different like novellas that kind of talk about different characters. So there's an entire world really of books, and I will get to it. Gail Carriger is on my 35 before 35 series, so I'm going to make a conscious effort to read these books and this series. I've started Silver Elite by Danny Francis. Book number 2 is coming out in 2026, so technically at the moment I am up to date with this series. I've read book 1, Neon Gods in the Dark Olympus series by Katie Roberts. Book number 9 has just come out, or is coming out in December, so I've got a long way to go to catch up on this series, but it was a fun, easy read and I'll enjoy it. I started the Kindred's Curse series with Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. Really enjoyed this book, eager to get back into it. I just haven't had the opportunity yet to get back into this series. I started the Nevernight series by Jay Kristoff with reading Nevernight. I just haven't picked up God's Grave yet, which I do own, so I just need to get into it, and then there is a third one that I don't own. I then started the Scholomance series by Naomi Novik by reading A Deadly Education. I found the series okay. I'm not running back to reading the rest of them, but I don't know, I kind of just want to read them and like move it off my in the middle of series. I know I could DNF it, but I don't know. Maybe if it's still on and I haven't read any of them by the end of 2026, I will just remove it from my list and forget that I read the first one. I then reread An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I read this book like 10 years ago when it first came out, and I never continued on with the series, so I wanted to reread it to refamiliarize myself because I'd completely forgotten everything. And now that I've read that one, I am going to continue on with the other 3 books. I think there's 4 in this series. Yes. So plan on doing that. Then I started Arcana Academy by Elise Kova by reading Arcana Academy. Book number 2, I believe, comes out in 2026. So at the moment, I am up to date with this one. I started the Atlas series and read, The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. Again, this is another one I'm not rushing back to read, so it might be in the same ball game as like A Deadly Education of if I haven't read any of these by the end of 2026, I will just be removing it from my list. I started the Windy City series by Liz Tomford by reading Mile High. Absolutely enjoyed this book. They're interconnected standalones, so gotta make my way through all the boys. I started the Reign of Remnant series by reading The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. I believe book number 2 is coming out in 2026, so up to date on this series. I read book number 1 in the Bonds That Tie series by Jay Bree with Broken Bonds. There's quite a few in this series. I've got 6 more to read. So, yeah. I had fun with it. It was a kind of easy read. I then started the Powerless trilogy. I have read Powerless, Powerful, and Reckless. So I have Fearless and Fearful to go, so just one more book and then the novella to finish it all off, and then I'm done. I read Blood and Steel by Helen Shearer, which is the first book in the Legends of Thesma series. I cannot wait to get my hands on book number 2. I really enjoyed book number 1 and just want to jump back into this world. I started Serpent and Dove with the book number 1 called Serpent and Dove by Shelley Maharin. This book I'd had on my shelves for such a long time, so I believe it's a trilogy, and they're all, I would assume they're all out just with how long ago this was released. So yeah, I just want to complete the series. It was a fine enough YA series. It was probably a bit too long in my opinion, like some of it could have been cut. I read A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. This is book number 1 in the, I think it's actually just called A Study in Drowning series. But there is a second book and then a prequel that has just come out in December. So yeah. I read Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghunt. I believe this is a duology. I don't know. It seems strange to me that this is a duology because it came out in the era of trilogies. So I don't know. I need to double check that one. But I had an easy enough time reading it. I think I read it within one day. It was such an easy read, and I'm just going to finish off the series. Then I started the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. This was a strange read, and then I watched the movie as well. I just want to read the other books. I have most of them, so I would just like to read because it's on my TBR, like it's on my shelves. So I may as well. I then read A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. This is book number 1 in the Mirror Visitor series. I really enjoyed this book. I was surprised how much I enjoyed this book and flew through it. I found it such an easy read, and I was just so engrossed in the series, like, or in the story and what was happening. It was just pulling me along, and yes, I cannot wait to get my hands on the other 3 books. I started my reread of the Darker Shade of Magic series. I have read the main 3 books in this series, but V. Schwab has started to come out with another series that is connected to this world, so I wanted to read these again because it's been like 10 years, and then I will go into those books. Then I started the Anna series by reading Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare Blake. This is a duology, so I've got Muse of Nightmares on my shelves to read, and then I will be done with this duology. I've started the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson, and I have got 5 more to go. I believe book number 6 has just come out, so looking forward to getting more into the mystery element. This book was very much a setup book, so hopefully book number 2 is more into what's actually going on and the mysteries of the school slash house slash whatever the hell it is, private mountain. I don't know. Then I started Etiquette and this is the Finishing Girls series with Etiquette and Espionage being book number 1 by Gail Carriger. This is set in the same world as the Parasol Protectorate series, and because Parasol Protectorate is set earlier in like the world's timeline, I started reading Solace, but then apparently in reading order lists, this series is actually first. So that's why I only read 1 in the Parasol Protectorate series, and now I've started this one because I want to go through this series, read these, and then I'll go back to the Parasol Protectorate series. Then I read Girls of Paper and Vibe by Natasha Nang. If ever there was a series that I am fully okay with DNFing, I think it's going to be this one. I don't see myself picking up the rest of the series just because I rage read this. Then again, like, there are so many bits of this book that I absolutely hate and deplore, but the last third of it moved away from all those aspects into something that I would be interested in reading. I don't know if I can continue to support this series. So I don't know if I want to read it just to know where the series goes, and if I should just rage tell everyone about this series or not. We'll see. At the moment, this one is very highly in the I'm finally admitting, not even defeat, I'm finally choosing that I would rather DNF. Because I don't like DNFing, especially series. Once I've started, I want to complete. I started the Folk of Air series by Holly Black with The Cruel Prince. I am very excited to move on to the next one, which I believe is The Wicked King. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's book number 2. And yes, looking forward to diving back in. I started the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas with Corrupt. A very common trend of a lot of these series is because of book club. So a lot of our books lately have been the first in a series. Actually, I think every single one of our book club picks has been the first in a series. So it's hard because they're the ones that we're all interested in, but then we're starting a new series. But there is another 6 books in this series, but half of them are novellas, so I'll get there. I started the Hex Hole series by Rachel Hawkins. This is actually book number 2, but I've read book number 1, so I'm up to book number 2, and I own the entire series, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's 3. No, I'm missing one. So I own 3 out of 4. I started the Shadow Game series by Amanda Foody by reading Ace of Shades. I really enjoyed this book and cannot wait to read the other 2. It was such a fun, it's a YA book. It's not too serious. It was just an easy read. I started the Fallen City series by Adrienne Young. Book number 1 just came out in November, so I believe book number 2 is coming out next year, but I am up to date in this series. I started The Assistant to the Villain series by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and I've read book number 1 in this series so far, and I believe there's 3 more to go. I think one of them's a novella. No. They're all books. Oh, no, sorry. Book number 3 came out this year. Book number 4 is coming out next year. It's been announced. So, yes, very excited to keep going on with it. It was a lot of fun reading. The last 4 I'm going to talk about are ones that I'm highly motivating myself to try and complete by the end of the year because it finishes off the series and it'd just be a nice way to end the year. The first being the Crimson Moth duology by reading Rebel Witch. So I have it, I just need to read it. It is on my plans to read this month. So then I've got one more book to read in the Kingdom of the Wicked series by Kerri Maniscalco. So I just need to read Kingdom of the Feared, I think is the last one. Kingdom of the Cursed is the other book, and again, I always get those 2 mixed up. So I just need to read one more and then I'm done with this series. Then I've read books 1 and 2 of the Emily Wilde series by Heather Fawcett, so I just need to read book number 3, which is a compendium of lost tales, and then I will be done with this series. And then lastly, I need to read book number 2 in the Shepherd King series by Rachel Gillig, which is 2 Twisted Crowns, I believe. I've read 1 Dark Window, and then I can move on to the second duology series, which I'm so keen for, but I want to read this one first. Okay, I hope I've counted that right. So I believe I've got 65 series on my list, and of that, 10 I am up to date on. And then coming into 2026 when those books get released, then I won't be, but at this very present time, I'm currently up to date on 10 of them, so there's 55 of them that I'm not. Definitely need to work on that next year. Okay, if you want to do the maths and don't mind looking, let me know how many series you are currently in the middle of, if it's a scary number like mine is, or if it's a more manageable number, or maybe you're one of those people that completely reads an entire series in one go and just fully binges and then moves on to the next series so you don't have any that you're in the middle of. Let me know. And thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and hit the subscribe button if you would like to. If you don't want to leave, like if you're not in the chatty mood and don't really want to leave a whole lot of text in the bottom, leave me a flower for Emily Wilde, just so that I know that you're here, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!